Hey guys, it's Tracy Lynn from DeclutteringMinutes.com. And today we are going to do a little bit of organizing inspiration. And we are going to talk about sorting and organizing your family photos. I know this is a collection that every single one of us have. And no matter how organized of a person you are, you may have yet to tackle your family photos. So today I have a simple step-by-step walkthrough on how you can sort those photos and then a few organizing ideas that you can use to streamline a system that will work for you, keeping those photos organized going forward. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so as I said earlier, today we're going to talk about organizing our family photos. Okay, the first thing that I want to remind you guys, now I know this is a big project. You've got a lot of photos probably scattered all over your home, photos given to you from family members or relatives asking you to hold on to them, whatever it is. Maybe you had a deceased loved one and you got all of their family photos. I want you to remember one thing when doing this project. This is not a chore. This project is actually a treat. This is a trip down memory lane that you are going to take one photo, one event at a time. Here's the problem if you look at this as an organizing and decluttering chore. It's going to take the fun out of it and it's going to make it overwhelming. There's a lot that goes into organizing photos. So if we can remove the work part and instead turn it into something that you get to do, it will make it a lot easier and a lot less overwhelming for the project ahead. Okay, so basically what that means is I want you to break this down. Instead of trying to do it all at once like a normal organizing or decluttering project is, I want you to break it down into sorting sessions. So maybe once a week, you'll work for an hour. You could do it on Sunday mornings before anybody gets up and the house is nice and quiet. You could do it on Friday evenings when you watch a movie with your family or your spouse. You could sit on the couch with a box of photos and just slowly work through those pictures while you're watching TV with your family. You can incorporate it into your weekly schedule without turning it into a chore that you find yourself postponing or avoiding altogether. So remember, organizing and sorting photos is not a chore. It is a treat, something that you get to do. Okay. You knew this was coming. Before we get started, you need to know your why. This is super important because it allows you to understand why you're doing this in the first place, just in case it does become overwhelming. When you know why you're sorting out, in this case, your family photos, it'll keep your eye on the prize and it'll make it a lot more easier for you to go through all the steps it takes to sort, organize, and set up a system for your photographs. A few ideas for your why can be, maybe you want to reminisce and enjoy past memories whenever you want. So you don't have to dig through a box of miscellaneous photos. It'll now be easier for you to grab a collection of photos from your family trip of 1994. Maybe you want to make it easier for you to find certain pictures. If you're looking for a picture for an event or for a friend, maybe you want to have a system set into place, making it easier for you to locate that photograph. Maybe you want to do this so that you could do a crafting project. Maybe you're a scrapbooker or you're going to do one of those photo quilts or you want to make a photo album as a gift. Maybe your why is to get things organized. So when you want to do those crafting projects, it's a lot easier for you to get creating. Maybe you want to turn all of your photos into a lifetime collection of photo albums. What a great way for you to see each of the decades or each of the events in you and your family's life. Maybe that's your why. Or maybe your why is simply to find a way to store your photographs so that they don't get damaged from the weather, from the sun, or from just time. Whatever your why is, knowing what the why is going to make it easier to keep your head in the organizing game. Okay, it is also important to know your why because it will better help you to pick the most efficient organizing solution going forward. Now, the first thing that we are going to talk about, we're just going to talk about this quickly, is how to organize your digital photos, the pictures that you have on your phone or on a digital camera card from your camera. So first, you need to know, where are your digital photos at? Are they on images stored on camera cards from, say, an old cell phone, or maybe an old digital camera, or maybe they're just simply stored on your phone? Whatever it is, you kind of need to do a mental inventory of where you have those photos at. Then, once you know where all the photos are at, then you can choose a storage platform housed online that will work specifically for you. So instead of just keeping the photos on your camera card or on your phone, you are going to upload them to an online platform, allowing you to organize the photos there, making it easier for you to find them when you need them. A few examples are Google Drive, Amazon Photos, which I think you get a free, you get free access to that if you have an Amazon Prime membership, Apple iCloud, Dropbox, which is what I use, or Google Photos. A lot of these you do have to pay for, but it's extremely affordable, so you don't really have to worry about that. I want to say Dropbox, I pay $1.99 a month, and I probably have, oh gosh, I want to say at least 10,000 photos. I take a lot of pictures. So I think they have smaller packages, like 99 cents a month. They might even have a few free options if you don't have a lot of photos, but it's very good to have a copy of your photos uploaded to a platform, just so that you have a backup in case something does happen to your camera card or your phone. Now, once you have an online platform, it is best to have folders set up to organize all of your photographs. And a few ideas are, you can have family photos, so like one for your son, one for your husband, one for yourself. You could have folders made by occasion, like Christmas 1998 or family trip to Florida in 2006. You can have them by year. So you can have folders that simply say the year, 2010, 2011, 2012. You can have it by seasons, fall, winter, summer, by activities. If you do kayaking or if you go camping, you can have all of your camping photos in one folder. You can have a folder just for pictures of your pets, a folder just for family trips or solo trips, folder for day-to-day miscellaneous pictures, a folder for sports, or a folder just for fun. You don't have to have all of these folders set up. This is just to get you thinking of what folders make sense to you and the collection of photos that you have. Then, once you have a platform picked out, once you have your folders figured out, then what you want to do is upload your photos to your online platform of choice. These are out of order. Upload your photos to your online platform of choice. Once you have your folders set up for your photos, then you can start sorting your photos one at a time. And that simply means drag and drop them into the appropriate folders. I suggest you set a goal of 12 photos every single day. 12 photos. 12 photos. It shouldn't take you longer than just a few minutes. And this is a really great way for you to go through the photos that you have without making it a chore or a project. 12 photos isn't a lot. If it is, just do 5. If you think it's not enough because you have a lot of photos, then double it up and do 24. The point is to make it a habit that you do every day until all those photos are caught up and put online on your platform and then sorted into the appropriate folders. Each month, do a sort and file of your new photos so that you can keep your system up to date. So once you get everything done, I want you to set a reminder on your phone or put it on your to-do list or put it on your monthly calendar that you are going to go through your new photos for the month and upload them to your platform, unless you decide to incorporate automatic upload. If that's the case, you can skip that step of uploading, but you will still need to get in there and drag and drop your photos to the appropriate folder. This will keep it so you never have to do this great big sort and organize project again. Okay, let's move on to actual physical photos, the photographs that you have in bags and boxes and totes all over your house. Let's tackle that project next. Okay. The first thing that I want you to do is to find a space to work on sorting out your photos. This is where you're going to pick an area where you can work on things as you have time. So what I mean by that is, remember I told you, you're going to do this as part of your new decluttering and organizing habit. So you're not going to get in there and do it all at once. You're not going to take over the kitchen table for 3 days straight while you organize these photos all over the place. Instead, we're going to make a portable organizing and sorting station so you can come and go when you have time to work on things. You could do this in a spare bedroom. You could do this in an office. Maybe you have room in a spare bedroom or an office to put a folding table off to the side. You could do this in your craft room or a hobby space if you have one, or you could take over a table in a dining room that you don't use every day to eat at. The point is to create in a workspace for this project that you can come and go routinely until everything is done. So I want you to keep that in mind as you shop your home for a good workstation. Okay. Once you have a workstation set up, the next thing you need to do is gather up all the photographs that you have. I want you to get all the loose photos that you have from around your home, and you can use totes or boxes or bags just to throw everything into. So you might have bags and photos in your attic. I want you to grab those bags, throw them in a tote, get out of the attic, move on to the next location. Maybe you're down in the basement and you have 4 or 5 cardboard boxes that your Aunt Mildred gave you a decade ago. Grab those boxes, take them up to your photograph sorting area. Go into your office, look on bookshelves, look in cabinets, wherever you know you have a few photographs stored or kept. I want you to gather them all up and take them to your designated photograph sorting area. You need to have all the pictures in one place, because that is going to help you to visualize how much you have to do. Then you can set a goal of working 1 hour a week on sorting through your physical photographs. So like we talked at the beginning of our slideshow, you can do this on a nice quiet Sunday morning before anybody gets up, have a cup of coffee, sit by a window and let the sunshine come in as you're going through photos. You could do this while you're watching a movie with your spouse or your family, or you could do this on a Tuesday while the kids are at school and your husband's at work and you know you have time to work through things without being interrupted. Sort your photos into piles. Now, what I mean by that is, as you look at each photo, you need to have piles designated and set up for you to put those photos in. So have a few bins, maybe manila folders you can do and have a portable file with labeled manila folders that you can stick the photos in. You can have a few baskets that you spread out in your sorting area so you can just sit in a chair, look at the photo, and put it into the appropriate basket. Make sure everything is labeled so you don't have to look at the photos to see what belongs where each time you do a new sorting session. So you can use index cards or Post-it notes and put them right on the sorting container that you have set out. Nice big black label that says family photos or travel photos or Christmas photos. It doesn't matter how you sort things out now. Just get an initial sort done of the photos so you don't have random piles, but a more streamlined set of photographs that you can then take the next step and organize. Okay, so like I just said, a few ideas for sorting are going to be the exact same ideas for setting up folders for your digital files that we talked about earlier. You could do a bin for family, one for occasions, one for the year. You could do seasons, activities, pets, trips, day-to-day sports, just for fun, ages of your family, you know, when our kids were little, when our kids were teenagers, our family individually, however it is you want to do that. Make sure that you're setting up categorized areas to put your photographs that make sense to you specifically. Because if it doesn't make sense, you're not going to remember what goes where. So really keep it simple. You can always organize more later, but I would try to keep it to 5 or 6 containers when you're first starting out. As you go through these photographs one at a time, you'll be like, Oh, you know what? I need a basket for just Disney vacation trips because we took a lot of those Disney trips and I would like to keep all those photos together. So as you go through the images and you start to see what you have a lot of photos of, it will guide you towards what bins will make the most sense when you're sorting through your photographs. Once you have your photos all sorted, you can next choose the best organizers for keeping your photos going forward. These are a few organizing options. Now, disclaimer, there are no life-changing solutions that I'm going to show you. They're basically the same ones that have been around for years. And the reason is because they work, you guys. So I don't want you to think there's a sophisticated, life-changing organizing system that is going to blow your mind. No, there's not. There's basically a small handful of ideas for organizing your photos. It's not the organizer that's going to create the system. It's you putting the organizer to use that is going to create the system. And sure, it's a lot of work now, but once it's done, the payoff is worth its weight in gold because now these photos are not going to be buried in boxes in the attic or stuck in the corner in the basement, risking damage. They are going to be front and center in your life so you can see them, reminisce with them, and enjoy them going forward, which, let's face it, is the absolute purpose of having a photograph in the first place. Okay, first thing you need to do is see how many photos you have so that you can choose the best system going forward. So you have everything sorted. Look at how many photos you have sorted out. If you have them in file folders, lay the file folders out so you could see how many you have. Do you have 50? Do you have a couple hundred? Do you have a couple thousand? You need to know how many there are so you can choose the best organizer to hold all of them so you don't have to get a ton of organizers. Okay, so first up is an old school way of organizing your photos, and that's with photo albums. Now, just a disclaimer, these are all the organizing systems that I use. I use all three because sometimes one isn't the answer for all of your photographs. Sometimes you need things sorted in different ways. And for me, sorted in different ways works. So we have trip photo albums. So these are all trips. Cancun in the back, we have our out west national parks trip, and then our Disney trips are underneath. So we have our photo albums organized by trips. And for me, that makes sense because we really like to have those out and displayed. It's a great conversation piece. And our family was pretty much included in those trips in some way, shape, or form. So everybody has a picture in there somewhere. Photo albums are really fun to get out at gatherings. So say you have everybody over for a birthday party and your grandparents are there and your parents are there and you're like, oh, how much fun would it be to get out an old photo album and pass it around? It's really easy to do when you have it all done and sorted and ready to go. Not only that, these leather-bound photo albums that I love to use hold a lot of pictures, but they look really great on a bookshelf. Those are my two photo albums right there. I have a few more coming for other vacation trips that we made that just look so nice on a bookshelf. They actually look like a book and no one would know that they're really photo albums. Another good solution for organizing your photos are photo boxes. These again are our family photos. And I like these because it's a quick way to sort a lot of pictures. It allows me to take them into sections and throw them into my photo boxes. And then I can put these into albums if I need to. So you can see my bottom one, all family trips. So if I want to do a new album on another family vacation, I know right where those photos are and I don't have to go searching, spending a lot of time looking for the photos for a trip and possibly risking missing a few and having my photo album be out of order or out of sequence. Sorry, my dog is barking in the background. Real life, y'all. Okay. Now, one thing nice about these photo boxes is you can use index cards to sort out the years or events. Again, just a super fast way to organize a large collection of photographs. And guess what? They still look great on a bookshelf. So I put these right next to my photo binders, my photo albums, and look how nice they look right on a bookshelf. So again, when you can take an organizing system and use it as art, it turns things into double duty. It allows you to do two things with what you have organized. Plus, your photos are no longer buried in a corner on a closet shelf or in an out of the way space. They're front and center. So you can pull them out whenever you need a memory lift or a cheerful memento from the past to look at and take a peek of. Plastic photo organizers. Yes, these are mine as well because I do all the things with my photos. This is another quick and easy way for me to put photos, these are my really old ones, into an organizer if I ever need to get my hands on them. They're great if you have a lot of photos, just like the shoe boxes I showed you earlier. These containers are easy to sort and store. They have a handle. You can hold that container vertically and not risk the photos falling into the next section. They stay put really well, and they're super durable, meaning they will keep your photos safe. I also have this one, which is an all-in-one organizer, meaning in the big container are these small individual containers that you can store photos in. This allows you to earmark them by family. So if you need to pull out a family member, you could just pull out these containers. They hold they hold a lot more photos than it gives you the impression in the image. I want to say a couple hundred will fit in there quite easily. It's a little overkill on the steps that you need to make to get through images, but it is nice if you're a crafter and want to do a DIY project. This is a great way to get things sorted specifically for one of those craft projects. So if you have like duplicate photos and you don't mind cutting them up or using them in making something for someone else, this might be a great way to organize those photos so you know they're earmarked for crafting and you don't have to worry about damaging an original copy. Okay, so those are basically the main ways to organize your physical photos. Now I have a few photo bonus tips that might help you give second life to your photographs going forward. Number one, give your photos new life. This is something that I do and I absolutely love doing it. So I will put pictures in my family's birthday cards, you know, of way back when we were little kids. I'll put one in my brother's birthday card, or a picture of me and my mom when I was a little girl. I'll put it in her Mother's Day card. It's just a great way to get those photos out and put them in front of the people that are actually in the photo itself. You could put a couple in an anniversary card. So maybe your parents have an anniversary coming up and you have a photo of them on the day they got married. Tuck that inside their anniversary card. What a great treat for them to see when they open the card up. Or you can make a display for a party. This is great for graduations or birthdays or an anniversary. You can use poster board and pull out those photos, which should not take a lot of time because now they're all organized, and you can tape them right onto a poster board and make a great display and a centerpiece for a party that you're having. Another tip is to rotate out framed photographs that you have in your house right now. And you can do this every season. So let's say summer's coming and spring is slowly coming to a close. So this is a great time to pull down all of your framed photographs and replace them with new images. Now you can pull the old image out and file it in your organizing system, which should just take minutes because you know exactly what goes where. Or you can just put the new photo on top of the old photo. And once you get a collection of 8, 9, 10 of your favorite photos, then when you swap the photos out, you could just pull one from your collection, put it to the front, and put the picture back up on the wall. This is a great way to get those photos out and get them seen by not only you, but your entire family or visitors as well. Really, really great conversation pieces when you have company over. Guys, you can make a gift of photos. So let's say it's your grandmother's 85th birthday coming up. How much fun would it be to do a photo album of everybody in the family? You could do one when they were little, one when they were adolescents, and one when they were older. Like a page per person as a little family tree memento. Such a great DIY gift that you can create for them. Doesn't require a lot of creative talent. And it is something that shares that memory and brings it back to the forefront. And again, turns a gift into something that is so much more meaningful than a gift card to a restaurant. You can repurpose digital photos onto a picture frame. I have one of these picture frames. I absolutely love it. I constantly have my camera cards tucked in there so I can have photos streaming across all the time. It's right in my office, right beside me. So I can see there's a goat on there right now. So I can see the pictures scanning across the screen. It just, sometimes I'll walk in my office and I'll see a picture of one of my kids who are in their 20s and 30s now as an 8 and 9-year-old. And it just, I don't know, it just makes my heart smile. It's such a great way to get rid of the chaos of the day and transport you back to a completely different time, just like that. And that's what those photographs are meant to do. So get them out and get them up so you can enjoy them. Finally, my absolute favorite tip is to turn your photos into a teaching tool. So we're working with my young grandson right now, trying to help him learn the names of all the family members. So we're making him a photo album, a picture of each family member, and we put a picture on the page, a nice big one that we can find, and underneath it, we put that person's name. So we read it just like it's a bedtime story and go through every picture and we recite the name to him, to him. This really helps him learn who his family members are, not just his siblings or his parents, but his aunts, his uncles, his nieces, nephews, everybody in the family. And it's a great teaching tool. And it's also a great trip down your family, not so much memory lane, but it reminds us of all our family members, and it brings to light their face and their energy, and it just puts them in our minds and in our hearts. So it's a great way to repurpose those photographs and turn it into a teaching tool for your kids or your grandkids. Remember, before we end our slideshow, I want you to remember that organizing and sorting your photographs is not a chore, but a treat. If you find it's getting overwhelming, if you find it's getting frustrating, if you find you are constantly putting it off to a later date, you're looking at it as a chore and your steps that you're trying to accomplish are too big. In order to turn that back into a treat, a trip down memory lane, you need to make those steps much smaller. So if an hour a week working on pictures is just too much, make it 10 minutes a week. Start small and build on there. Take the steps and make them smaller so that they don't overwhelm you. And it takes the chore out of doing this organizing project, and it brings back the joy of going down and looking at these pictures from memory lane. All right, guys, that is all I have for you today. Let's jump on out of here. I hope you found some great tips for sorting out your family photos and organizing. I want to make sure you did notice one thing. Not once did I say declutter. Not once did I tell you to toss out any photos. Not one time. Photos are something that you absolutely can keep. They don't take up a lot of space. If they're organized and stored in a positive way, you can keep those photographs and keep their integrity so that they don't get damaged going forward. And I gave you solutions to bring those photos out and put them into your everyday life so you can enjoy the memory that you were capturing when you took the photo in the first place. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing day. I will see you in the next video. Take care and happy decluttering. Bye, everybody.